Good evening and welcome to another Verbling class. Tonight's class is on academic English. In academic English, we look at news stories from around the world. We focus on your comprehension skills by getting you to read. I'll help you with your pronunciation. And then we'll take turns. Other students will get to read a paragraph. It's important to listen to understand what the news story is about. Halfway through the class, we'll get to a question and answer section where we'll discuss the story, and then we will just have a conversation for the rest of the class. Hi, Ronald.
Hello, Simon. How are you doing?
Whew, I'm exhausted.
Yes, why? The weekend was very good.
The weekend was good, but I was very busy. I worked, and worked, and
Okay.
I'm still exhausted.
Yes, I know. You work in just teaching English, or are you working another kinds of jobs?
Well, I have a day job which keeps me busy, and
Uh,
this weekend I was doing some home renovations. So the
Innova-
home renovations were exhausting.
okay. Could you repeat? It's innovation?
Renovation.
Okay, good. Let me see here. Oh, renovation. Okay, good.
How was your weekend?
Well, I had a busy weekend too because I'm preparing presentation because in the next Wednesday I will present a paper about innovation, and it's a kind of contest, and if you win, I will go to United States to visit the Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley, yes.
Wow, that does sound exciting.
Yes, very exciting. It's a very short presentation. I don't know if it makes sense for you, but it's a pitch, you know.
Mhm.
It's a pitch, and you have just 6 minutes to convince the guys you are reviewing you. Not reviewing, to, how can I
Judge
say?
you.
Yes, judge him. Yes. Thank you.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, Ronald. I
Yeah.
wish you all the best.
Yes. I hope so.
Well, let's see who else has joined us. I believe it's a gentleman from Poland, Greg. Hello, Greg. Oh, Greg's got a problem with his microphone. Hi, Raphael.
Hi, Simon.
Let me guess, Raphael, another exhausting day at work.
So, kind of.
Yeah, me too. Exhausting day at home and at work.
Really?
Yes, really. I have a little
Okay.
baby to take care of, as you know, and I've got my day job, I've got teaching, and I've got stuff to do around the house, so it's been very busy.
I understand.
You look tired, Simon.
That's because I am.
Yes. Yes.
I'm definitely tired, I can tell you that. This
Yeah.
is a later class for me. In my time zone, it's 8 p.m., which is usually the latest I teach. At least
Okay.
the latest I teach now.
Mhm.
Um, having a family kind of tires you out a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
But guys, let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do today. Oh, Hyde just joined us. Hello, Hyde.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Good to see you. How was your weekend, Hyde?
Weekend? Weekend? It's already finished. Today, Monday.
I know, that's why I said, how was your weekend?
How was it was raining almost every day. And
Ah,
yeah, so vegetables are very expensive now. triple of the usual price.
Well, it's too bad, although I wouldn't mind a bit of rain. We had a lot of heavy rain on, what was it, Wednesday, just before the weekend. But you should have seen the clouds. They were very heavy, threatening clouds. So
after summer season, we had a lack of sunlight. So that's really the weather are very, very expensive. So now I use frozen vegetables.
I can understand that. I understand that. All right, well, I want to get started, but another student has joined us. Hello, e-teacher.
Hello.
Hi. Where are you from?
From Peru.
Peru. Are you also a teacher?
Yeah.
Yes? You're not sure?
Not sure.
Not sure. Why are you not sure?
Because I just teach my spare time.
I teach in my spare time too.
Oh.
What do you teach in your spare time?
Software.
Software. Excellent. Well, we're going to get started shortly. Hopefully Greg will join us back. What I want you guys to do is open up Google Drive. It makes learning a whole lot easier if you guys can open up Google Drive. Okay, I don't see anybody in there yet. You can locate Google Drive by going to the very left side of your screen, and you'll see what looks to be a triangle with yellow, blue, and green. Hyde, I can see you're in here. I'm in here. Raphael, I see you in here as well. Ronald and eTeacher, I need you guys to get into Google Drive.
I am in a Google Drive.
Excellent. Well, we'll start with Hyde. Hyde, could you please read the title?
Proving Scottish independence brought to way on a pound, traded one.
So that's the title. How many of you knew that Scotland was going to have a vote? They were going to the polls to vote for independence.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what this is about. So for those of you who don't know, Scotland is in the northern part of the United Kingdom, the same island as England.
But they want to use a pound. But Britain, England government refused that to use the pound if they are independent.
Well, we'll talk about that more at the end of this article. But yeah, you know, and in a way they do have control over who can use the currency, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. The first paragraph, please, Hyde.
Britain's currency faces a lengthy period of high volatility, and sinking value after a poll put support for Scottish independence ahead of the Union vote for the first time. Traders warned.
Faces. Britons.
Britain.
Excellent. Raphael, could you read the next paragraph, please?
The YouGov poll, published in the Sunday Times, triggered a massive sell-off of sterling and the value of Scottish companies. Currency strategists and economists at Barclays said that the sterling could lose another 5% to 6% if the yes side wins the September 18th referendum.
Okay, sterling is another word for the British currency because it used to be backed by sterling. The word strategists, please, Raphael.
Strategists.
Thank you. Okay, Ronald, could you read the next paragraph, please?
Okay, could you scroll down the document?
No, I can't. You need to scroll down yourself. I don't have
Oh,
any
yeah.
control.
Sorry. Yes, once you are sharing the same screen, sorry.
No worries.
The poll, excluding undecided voters, gave the yes side 51% of the vote, against 49% who wouldn't vote no to live in the United Kingdom. It marks a remarkable turnaround from the polls conducted last year, when the yes vote stood at about 35%, and the three main Westminster parties dismissed the independence effort, led by Scottish First Minister Alex Salmond, as largely irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Thank you.
Salmond.
Salmond.
Scottish.
Scottish.
Parties. Yes.
Yes.
Remarkable. Conducted. Undecided. And poll. Excellent. E-teacher, could you read the next paragraph, please?
Can you tell me how can I get the reading, please?
I'm afraid we don't have any more time for that, but I'll paste it in the group chat. Oops. There you go.
I cannot read. Sorry, I cannot read.
No, I cannot read. Sorry.
Well, reading's part of this class, though. You need to be able to read.
No, I mean I can see the reading. So
it's in group chat. If you just click group chat on the side.
Group chat.
I use an iPad.
I'm using an iPad. I'm not.
Yeah, it doesn't work on an iPad.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you need to use a computer. So I don't know if this class will be very useful to you then, because you need to participate.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Hyde, could you read the next paragraph, please?
But in the summer, support for independence had steadily climbed to the point that undecided voters will probably determine the outcome. The Scottish National Party, however, is prepared for a loss, and some polls still put the no side in the lead.
Probably.
Steadily.
All right, and this phrase here, no side in the lead.
No side in the lead.
There you go. So you want to get your words to flow a bit more. Okay, Raphael, if you could read the next two paragraphs, please.
Scottish Government's Finance Secretary John Sweeney told the BBC that it's a pretty fair assessment that the Yes campaign still remains behind in general, but the movement is in our favor. Investors were spooked by the YouGov poll. By midday trading on Monday, sterling fell by more than 1.3% against the US dollar, later recovering somewhat for a 1.1% loss. The loss takes sterling to a 10-month low. Since the start of July alone, the currency has lost 6%, and many traders think more losses will come.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Hernan. All right. Ronald, could you read the next paragraph, please?
Okay. In a note published Monday, James Northwick, head of currency strategy at Nomura recommended shorting terms until the referendum. We believe that the market has not fully priced the current risk of a yes. To the Scottish referendum, and the momentum is certainly towards a greater possibility of a yes. Vote as we approach the date, he said.
Okay, so those two words really shouldn't be separated because we're talking about a yes vote.
Yeah.
Yes here is an adjective, right? Referring to those that are going to vote yes. So it's yes vote.
Yes vote.
Momentum.
Momentum.
Referendum.
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 Better. Priced.
Priced.
Risk.
Risk.
Excellent. All right, Greg, can I hear you now?
Risk.
Greg, you're on mute?
Okay, I'm ready. I have some difficulties with my internet connection.
Well, sir, I can hear you clearly now. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, good to see you too.
All right. Let's see. Okay, Greg, can you open up Google Drive, please?
Yes, I did it.
Okay, look for a paragraph that says Barclays had a similar view.
I don't. Wait a second. I see here something about Scottish independence, but
That's it. Yeah, you want to go down a couple of paragraphs. Barclays had a similar view.
Okay.
E-teacher, are you still there?
Okay, I have it.
Yeah, could you choose a different screensaver because you're advertising another company and we can't really have you advertise another company?
Oh, okay.
Thank you. All right, Greg, have you found it?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead and read.
Barclays had a similar view in a conference call on Monday. The bank predicted another big slide in sterling if Mr. Salmond triumphs and protracted, I don't know, period of currency volatility after the vote. What this doesn't is open up a whole new can of worms. Barclays fixed income strategist Moin Islam said. Several difficult
No,
words.
it's okay. We'll go over those shortly. I'm going to try something here. Then I'll get back to you. Sorry about this delay. Okay, so volatility. Can you say volatility, please?
Volatility.
Triumphs.
Triumphs.
Protracted.
Protracted.
Predicted.
Predicted.
Excellent. Okay, good. So I'm trying to share out my screen. It usually doesn't work very well. Here we go. Okay, Hernan. Hernan, are you there? You're on mute.
Hello, Simon.
Hello. Sorry, I had to mute you earlier because you were moving the microphone, which was making a lot of noise.
Okay. And now
just avoid moving things around on your desk because it actually makes a lot of noise. Okay, Hernan, can you read the next paragraph, please?
Barclays and other banks expect a long period of volatility because a yes vote would signal the start of messy negotiations that could last a year and a half or longer, whose uncertainties would dominate the economic and fiscal agenda in Scotland and remain part of the UK.
Okay. Scotland.
Scotland.
Agenda.
Agenda.
Perfect. Yeah, that G in English, it's very aggressive. Okay? J. It's very aggressive sound, so agenda.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Uncertainties.
Uncertainties.
Unsur.
Uncertainties.
Tenties.
Uncertainties.
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 Close. 10.
Close. Time.
Uncertainties. 10.
Uncertainties.
Close. Okay, so just think of this word. Hear what I'm saying. Tin. 10.
10.
Uncertainties.
Uncertainties.
Okay, you might want to practice that later, but you're getting better. Negotiations.
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 Volatility.
Volatility.
Could. Expect.
Expect.
Expect. Excellent. Signal.
Signal.
Vote.
Negotiations.
Closer. Okay, good. All right, Hernan, thank you.
Thanks for you.
Hyde, next paragraph, please.
The big debate would include determining Scotland's fair share of the British debt and whether that debt should be determined by population, gross domestic product, or social spending, the division of assets and liability, and which currency and dependent Scotland would use. Mr. Salmond is lobbying for currency union with the UK, but the British government had ruled out that scenario.
Liabilities.
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 Liabilities, I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right, next paragraph. Oh, we lost Raphael. Okay, next paragraph, Ronaldo.
Okay. If Scotland cannot negotiate a currency union, it could decide to adopt the euro unilaterally, as Montenegro has done with the euro and Panama has done with the US dollar. That scenario appears unlikely because Scotland would lose the banking of the Bank of England, meaning it would lack a lender of last resort. If that opinion were ruled out, it could try to join the euro, unlikely given the common currency troubles, or create its own currency backed by its own central bank.
Backed. Backing.
Ah, okay, very different. Backing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unilaterally. Well done. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Ronald, can you, or sorry, not Ronald, e-teacher, can you read the screen?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Barclays thinks the latter option is most likely, all the more so since it expects the Scottish economy to struggle under high debt and high budget deficits in its early years. An independent Scotland would have a deficit of about 8%, none of which would be found by transfers from the UK, putting it among the highest deficits in the Western world. A Scottish currency could be devalued. Keeping sterling or adopting the euro would eliminate that option, forcing the new country to use a painful Greek-style internal devaluation to make its economy competitive.
Devalued.
Devalued.
Funded.
Funded.
Latter.
Latter.
Well done. Okay. Greg, it's your turn. Next paragraph, please.
Okay. Barclays believes the Bank of England may delay increasing interest rates. It is probable next move since the British economy is expanding rapidly because of the volatility and economic uncertainty that will be produced by yes votes.
By a yes vote.
By yes votes.
Excellent. Hernan, next paragraph, please.
Shares of company based in Scotland reflect the new investor fear. The banks with headhunters of substantial operations in Scotland suffered the most on the belief they would lose deposits immediately after a yes vote.
Immediately. Now, Hernan, I advise not to move things around because it's creating a lot of noise and it's hard to hear you. Substantial.
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 Good. Investor.
Investor.
Based.
Based.
Share.
Shares.
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 Thank you. Hyde, next paragraph, please.
Lloyds Banking Group fell more than 3%, and the Royal Bank of Scotland fell by a similar amount, as did Standard Life. Some Scottish industrial and energy companies lost 1% to 2%.
Thank you. Last paragraph, Ronaldo.
The Scottish banks reportedly have made contingency plans to shift their base to England if the referendum goes in the separatist favors.
Contingency.
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 Tin.
Contingency.
Tin.
Contingency.
No. Tin.
Ten.
Tin.
Ten.
Tin.
Ten.
Okay. Contingency.
Contingency.
Tin.
Ten.
Contingency.
Contingency.
Much better. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. At the bottom of the article here, I just wrote, what is this story about? What I want you guys to do.
Write down?
Well, we'll get to that shortly, but yes. I want each one of you to write a little bit about what you remember this story being about. Okay? And we'll have a discussion about this.
Okay.
So tell me what you got from this story. Offer any other information that you might be aware of. And very shortly, we'll start a conversation. The reason I call this class academic English is because we do pretty well everything you do in school. Reading, writing, speaking, comprehension. It's all there.
Okay.
Okay, I see Greg and Hyde writing. Come on, guys. The rest of you need to write something. I don't mind if you don't do anything, but you're not benefiting. We'll have a discussion shortly. I just want to see what you guys recall from this story. Remember, this story is about comprehension. It's not about reading or pronunciation. Ronald, if you want to type at the bottom of the story.
Yes, I'm trying. I'm trying to think.
There, I see you. Good. And Hernan, I see you ready to start. Okay, good, guys. Now, I'm going to read some of what one student has already written, and then I'll have that student tell us a bit more. The story is about issues which have a strong connection with the independence of Scotland. The last referendum showed an increase of the people who will decided to accept. Okay, Greg, tell us more about what you're writing. What's the story about?
The story is about the difficulties which has something to do with the process of showing up of the new country on the continent. So in this case, that would be the Scotland, which is right now part of the Great Britain, and there's some banks, companies, and other institutions who are involved in this process because they don't have a choice to avoid. And this is all about. So there's at the beginning we have some. I remember I wasn't here, so I checked it for a couple of minutes ago. There's about the increasing of number of people who decided to vote for the independence of Scotland, and there are some other problems. There is some fear of people who just are scared about what will happen with the currency, what kind of currency it will be, what will happen with this bank, or what Bank of England will do, and many other things. Quite detailed thoughts about it.
Okay, good, excellent. Hyde, you're writing a lot too. Let me read a little bit of what you've written. This is about the independence of Scotland. The Scottish are voting about if they should be independent from Britain. But the British government says if Scotland becomes independent, they are not allowed to use the pound, also known as sterling in this article. Tell us more, Hyde.
Yeah, that's right. So the British government decided not allow the use the currency pound to Scottish. Both countries had a lot of national debt accumulated. So if the Scotland will be is independent, how they can manage the national debt? And even other choices, they can use the euro. Then as a member of EU countries.
Okay, interesting. Now, to me, this is fascinating. Scotland has been semi-independent of the United Kingdom for some time. Well, not their own country. They do have a lot of freedom. However, many Scots would rather be their own country. However, to go to all this effort and to become independent, it seems odd that they'd want to share their British pound. Do you guys know what they're giving up by sharing the British pound? If they use the same currency as England, what is Scotland giving up?
I think if they give up on own currency, in this case there is no financial independence, which is, most important thing, for example, for Poland, because we avoid crisis when we have own currency.
Excellent, well said. Now, what we refer to in business vocabulary, we call that monetary policy.
Yeah.
Okay. By having your own currency, you can adjust it. You can have it fall, which makes your country's products cheap on the world scene. It's like putting stuff on sale, right? If you use the British pound, well, Britain sets the interest rates, not Scotland. So you're giving up control of your money to another country. You're independent, but not really. Okay, good. Let's see. Hernan, who just left, wrote, "This story is about political and economic independence for Scotland and the UK." Well, I don't think it affects the UK too much, but it certainly will affect the United Kingdom in the short term as they work out how much debt Scotland gets. All right? But yeah, it's not, if Britain doesn't let them have their pound, then they'd be truly independent. And let's see, up here, Ronaldo wrote, "This is about Scotland separating from Britain and being economically independent." So do you think this is a good idea, guys? Should Scotland try to be independent right now, only to join the euro?
Well, I think so. The euro is having a big problem in the Europe, and I'm not sure if it's a good idea for the Scotland, because we have Greece. They have a big problem with the euro, and economy is very, how can I say, very down, and I think so. It's not a good idea for Scotland, because I think so Scotland is not so big economy. I think so they need to worry about that.
Yeah, the way we would refer to Greece as a very depressed economy, an economy that is contracting.
Okay.
In fact, I think it's probably safe to say that Greece is in a depression.
Okay.
A stagnant economy that's contracting.
Okay.
Now, if Greece had their own currency, many believe that they wouldn't be in as bad shape. What do you think, Hyde?
About Greece?
About the question I just asked.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, I disagree with that. Basically, Britain, England is very small. Britain is very small country. Then, if they divide their power, both countries lose some power. So they need to integrate.
Well, how small do you think Britain is?
Almost the same as Japan. If Japan divided into two, maybe our power will be decreased totally.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Britain is about 60 million people.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the more powerful European countries. Germany is also considered a very powerful country. It may not be a very large company, but in terms of Europe, it does have quite a bit of power.
Mm-hmm. Even Japan is quite a powerful country now. But
now, hi, let me ask you this. How big is Scotland in terms of population?
I don't know. Less than 20 million.
Really, they're that big, are they?
Bigger than 20 million.
No, they're not. They're only they're just over 5 million in population.
Very small.
Very small. So if you look at 5 million population for Scotland, and you've got a population, I mean, London itself is 3 times the size of Scotland. Britain right now has a population of around 60 million people. So Scotland wouldn't likely have a huge impact on the United Kingdom, with the exception of, in the short term, currency crisis. Well, it may not be a currency crisis, it'd be more of a trying time for the British currency. It would be in a state of flux. Okay.
What do you mean?
So, flux, it's constantly moving.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Thank you.
So, I don't know. I don't know if it will really impact England or not. Now, have you guys heard of any other countries or other, shall we say, regions that have tried to separate from larger countries?
For example, Ukraine. Before, the country was one of Soviet Union, but after became independent, they lost power. They don't have any industry in that country.
Right, but that's not an issue of independence. Ukraine was a separate country before the Soviet Union took over it, and is a separate country again. What you're seeing happen in Ukraine is the Russian population in the east is trying to take control of the eastern part of the country, where the Crimea is, and they probably want to become part of a greater Russia.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different situation here. What I'm talking about is a region within a country that has looked to separate by voting, by doing it peacefully. Does anybody recall another country where this happened about 20 years ago?
I think so. It's not, I don't know, it's an island, Malvinas Island, maybe?
It's not the one I'm thinking. I didn't know. Were they looking at separating?
Yes, they have reference some time ago, and population voted. They wanted to be included in the England.
And how did that go?
Sorry?
How did it go?
Oh, they stay, how can I say, linked to England.
They remain linked to England.
Yes, remain, how can I say, province or territory of the England. Because,
kind of like Gibraltar.
Yes, because the Argentina claims the property of the island, you know.
Falklands.
But the population voted. They want to stay in the
United Kingdom.
Yes.
So this is the Falkland Islands then, I believe, because I remember there about 20 years ago, 30 years ago, Argentina decided to assert its claim over the island by sending some ships and troops on there.
Yes.
Britain said no, and then you had a war essentially between those two countries.
Yes, I think so. The war took just 2 weeks, I think so.
Mm-hmm. You also have you have Gibraltar, which used to be part of Spain. Britain took it, and they recently they were talking about giving it back to Spain, but the population overwhelmingly decided no, we still want to stay part of Britain. Okay. So Spain is very unhappy with that and has decided to periodically just close the border.
Okay.
Right? But it's
Ronald,
another. Can you guess the other country though where this was happening?
Ronald, are you Italian?
No, I'm Brazilian.
I see. Italy has same problem now. Venice want to be independent from Italy because only Venice had a lot of debt. Budget. Then they pay a lot of tax, almost a tax, and now go to the main Italian government. So even though they paid a lot of money, but they can't get benefit from that tax. So they complain about that.
Hyde, I think Venice has bigger problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's sinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, sinking.
Yeah, global warming is a major, major threat to, well, I shouldn't say global warming. Rising sea levels is a major, major threat to Venice.
Wow.
No, see if you guys can guess another country that had separation issues.
Czech Republic and Slovakia?
Nope, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Maybe Syria?
No,
Because
that's a civil war, guys. There was no war here. This is, like I said, just like Scotland. It's a peaceful
okay.
situation. There's a vote.
Okay. Yeah, right. I don't
See
know.
how good your world history is.
I don't know. Let me see.
I can stay here all night. Or for 15 minutes at least.
Any other country?
Really?
Yes, we have this kind of problem.
No way, eh?
No.
Canada.
Canada?
Yeah.
Yes? What city, what part they are trying to separate?
The province of Quebec had a referendum in 1980 and 1980, or 90, I think it was too, so 10 years apart. And they had a vote on whether they should choose to separate, but their vote was very unclear. It was more of a, would you like to vote to have a more sovereign control or something? And people didn't always know what it meant, but essentially they were 1% away from winning.
Okay.
But since then, the whole idea of separation has largely become a non-issue in the country. There's bigger worries.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Canada is very large country, but the most part is unuseful. And
Hey,
yes,
what do you mean our country is useless?
no, I don't know how can I say in English, but it's not heritage for because it's how can
habitable.
I say?
That's different, because if you say the rest of the country is useless, that means you don't take this the wrong way. You don't have the imagination to think creatively on how to use it. So, in terms of living, you're right. The country, you got to keep in mind too, the country is huge.
Yes,
While
huge.
most of the land is uninhabitable, there's still an awful lot of land that is habitable.
Yes,
Okay?
yes, sorry.
However, in the land where people, well, I wouldn't say don't live, because some people live in very harsh conditions.
Okay.
There's other uses for the land, such as logging, mining,
okay.
energy generation.
Yeah, because Canada is very huge.
Yeah, so it's not that it's useless. It's kind of like Brazil. We could say, well, most of Brazil isn't very habitable, right?
Some parts, yes, like Amazon, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of resources in parts that aren't habitable, right?
Yes, yeah, you are right.
Yeah. So it's choosing the right word. It's not that it's useless, it's inhabitable or inhospitable.
Inhospitable. Yes, that is very inhospitable. Yes, and I think it's very problem for Canada because they will have two small countries. I think so, if it happens.
Well, there would be a bit of a, well, there's, just like the UK, there are issues. Some would say that if Quebec did separate, they would only get a small fraction of the land that they have today. Okay. Because when Quebec joined the country, they were given control over a much larger area.
Okay.
So, again, same issues over currency. They'd want to use our currency, and, you know, my thought is, well, you've worked this hard to be independent. Why would you trade independence over your fiscal policy or monetary policy. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Quebec is more, how can I say, influenced by France. That's right.
No, I'd say they're more influenced by North America. If you watch French television, there's still it's different from watching television in Europe. I'd say Canada is more European than the U.S. and Quebec is more European than Canada, but that's not to say that it's a European. It's very European. Keep in mind we're here in North America, and the largest country in North America is the United States. It's hard to escape that country's influence.
Okay. Yes.
But they do have a very robust culture.
Okay.
They've done a very good job of preserving that. But yeah, it was never going to be a violent thing. If enough of the people in that area wanted to leave, would they be like, okay, go, don't let the door hit you on the way out. We're not going to go chasing you with guns. If you want to leave, then leave.
Okay.
But,
Great.
with that spark, the rest of the country deciding to break apart, because once one part goes, what's to stop the others?
Okay.
So do you guys think Scotland will become independent? Hyde, what did the story say? Does the story say that the yes side is winning or the no side is winning?
No, I don't think so.
Don't think so what?
Many people are against to be independent in Scotland.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they are successful. How many percentage they need to gain? Half or more?
I think it's half. I'm not sure though. But in this article, the yes side has 51% of the vote.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, more people want to leave than stay.
Actually, it's not. It won't be so simple because 51-49. It is like what I observe in when the voters made the decision in my country about who will be the president, and we see this issue that there's a difference on the points. Well, sometimes we see that one candidate is winning when they're checking their votes, and another day, the next day, it was quite surprising because he lost. So it will be the situation that maybe there's a tendency right now that Scotland will become independent, but when come to the day when people make the decision, it actually maybe it won't be the majority, but maybe it will be not 51% yes, it will be 49% yes.
Well, if it does happen, a yes vote will mean there's a new country in the world. Interesting. Very interesting. Greg.
Yes.
Is there much news about this in Poland?
Yes, I think yesterday or maybe today I was there. Yeah, we are quite interested about Poland, but we are thinking about is this new country will be quite neutral for us, like for example Great Britain, or it will be will feel this hostility when we try to make some changes on the Ukraine start to be part of the conflict. I don't know, or politicians start to be honest. But it is more like what will be the what Scotland really thinks about Poland, and what will be it will be more like we want to make business with your country, we want to be a part of some kind of companies and investments and stuff like that. So it is more like what we really worry about if what Scotland politicians do. And I didn't pay too much attention, but every new country for us, it will be friendly, it will be another some kind of enemy, or it will be quite neutral. This is only 3 categories in Poland.
Well, I don't see the Scots going around conquering other nations.
No, it's not really about the other nation. It will be something like if they decided to, to put some kind of embargo against us, it will come to us and say, okay, like China, well, actually, you're the biggest country in the region, so we want to make investment. This is kind of thing.
Fair enough.
We're thinking about it will be positive signs or negative signs of independence in Scotland. So it is very hard to predict because maybe there is some information what kind of policy the new government will have about Poland, but we don't know that.
No, but you guys have a lot to think of right now. If you look at what's going on in the Ukraine, it's kind of nerve-wracking. Is Russia deciding it wants to rebuild the old Soviet Union again?
It's not a problem that I am in Central Europe. When I left, this is a Central Europe. So the way to propagate communism go through Poland, and we stopped it for 20 years. But the problem, what we always have, that it is quite sad story because the German and Russians always have own business, and we look at our country. Okay, this is some kind of barricade that didn't help us. And other country, we always look what other country do. And other country, when they are neutral, there's a conflict. There's a conflict in this region. Every time when there's kind of behavior, and what we see now, the Ukraine doesn't have a support from other country. And Poland was country who was attacked first by Germans. And second by Russians. And we have a treaty with Great Britain, with France, and they did completely nothing for us. Sorry.
No, that is true. I remember the history very well, and back then, tell me if this sounds familiar, Europe was in a lot of debt. They had gone through a war and they had no interest in fighting or entering another war. And when Germany decided that it was going to rise up and expand, Germany quickly swallowed up a small country. Then it swallowed up another country, and then Europe said, "Okay, if you take Poland, if you go any further, that's it. It's war." And it took Germany invading Poland before World War II broke out.
Yeah, actually, that was the beginning of the war.
Well, beginning of the war, according to Europe, the war had started years before that.
There was some kind of incident, but I'm not sure. This is what learned us, actually, so maybe could be wrong. So when I'm thinking about the Ukraine, we observe the same situation as we saw about 70 years ago, and we just afraid. What if Russians may pull another step?
I understand. Yeah, I wish you guys all the best. It's not something I'd enjoy hearing about on a daily basis. But as far as Scotland goes, we will have to see. I'll have another class about the result, and we'll also have another academic English. Are there any questions about today's class?
Nope, actually.
No. Okay, guys. Well, I want to thank you very much for attending tonight's class. It was good seeing you all here and a very lively discussion. Thank you for participating, and I hope you learned something tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, guys.
Bye.
Good night now.